Well, hello to all of you from around the world. I want to thank you for joining us for this special edition of Soulivity Today. We're broadcasting live from our studio right here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., on KMET 1490 AM radio in Southern California. My name is Brian Wesley Johnson, and whether you're at home, driving, or at work, we're always glad you're here with us. We have another amazing show for you today. And once again, I am joined by an equally amazing co-host, Teresa Greco, happiness life coach, as well as the host of the Steps to Happiness show, which airs Thursdays at 12 noon on Soulivity TV. And good morning and hello to you, Teresa.
Good morning, Brian, and good morning to everybody listening.
Yeah, it's a fantastic day.
Yes.
A lot of stuff happening around the world. And, Teresa, I know you love these days because today is our Motivational Monday show. Dun, da, 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 where we
Yay.
bring you news and information from around the world that will help get you inspired and motivated to start your work week. Or, if you weren't not working this week, it'll still help you get inspired. So, before we get to all that, Teresa, how was the rest of your week last week? Give me any skinny on what you were getting into.
There was nothing eventful during the week, but we did go and see a comedian show at a casino near here. His name is Russell Peters. So we went to go and check out his show, and it was good. It's nice to do something different.
Yeah. We went out Friday and hung out. One of the greats of go-go music that's that started here in DC, Sugar Bear, actually was playing live at this one club, and it was awesome. On Friday night, we stayed out a little later than we probably wanted, but it was still a great night. Also want to just, everybody knows I'm from Detroit, because I tell everybody I'm from Detroit. Just want to do a shout out to my Detroit Lions, who almost made it into the Super Bowl yesterday. But they gave it their all. They didn't quite make it. But what a season. They have no regrets. Just have no regrets about the season. No one expected them to get as far as they did. So proud of you guys. And we will see you next year, everyone, because the Lions will definitely be back. So absolutely. Why don't we get to our first story? First story for today for Motivational Monday, which comes from the beautiful country of Ghana in Africa. Now, anyone who's visited Accra, the capital city of Ghana, in the dry season will remember the incredibly poor air quality. Now, poor roads mean that cars are stuck in second and third gears, and old cars traveling in second and third gears mean plenty of extra exhaust. Now, a Ghanaian English entrepreneur has designed an electric bike from the ground up that is transforming this short-range transportation in her home country, proving that problem solving in Africa can be done in Africa by Africans. Let's learn more.
So we're here today because we are launching Ghana's largest fleet of sustainable e-bikes to delivery riders for them to go out and earn a living riding electric vehicles. So firstly, compared to other bikes that are on the market, we are the only and we're the first company to design bikes for Ghana and for Africa. So even if you went and bought e-bikes off Amazon and you brought them on our roads, they probably won't survive in our markets. Second reason why our e-bike is unique in the market is because the electric bike actually comes with 2 batteries that gives it a very long range. So you don't need to buy petrol, but you can ride for 140 kilometers without having to charge, which means our delivery riders, they charge at home like you would your phone or your laptop, They come from home, they do deliveries all day, and they get back home without having to use any complicated charging infrastructure. So if you were a delivery rider in Ghana today, you would be spending around 1,500 cedis to 2,000 cedis a month on petrol. If you are charging our Wahoo bike, even with the recent increase in electricity, you're only going to be spending around 36 cedis a month on charging. So the savings that you make are huge. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we provide riders with training, not just male riders, but we also have a program called Women Delivers. So we are encouraging women who want to also enter the courier space to join us. We provide you training. We also give you connectivity to our digital app ecosystem. And with our app, it gives you a number of things. You can pay for your bike weekly, and it will help you track your payments. You can see when your bike needs to be maintained, and we cover the maintenance for you. You also get insured when you get the bike. So we also make sure that as our riders, as a Wahoo rider, you'll be on the road insured with safety equipment, good helmets, high-vis jackets, and then we also provide you road safety training. In addition to this, we make sure that you get connected to jobs. So we have fleet partnerships with some of the largest brands, particularly Bolt, which is allowing us to give you a bike and give you a livelihood. And that's something that the other EV companies will not do, but it's also central to our mantra, which we say is charged with freedom. We want people to have freedom from petrol, and we want people to have freedom to actually spend their money wisely and freedom to earn a living through delivery on electric vehicle. People always assume that the bikes are extremely expensive. Like I said, with a normal petrol bike, you're spending 2,000 cedis a month on petrol alone. This is without even buying the bike. For us, you get our electric bike for just 300 cedis a week. So you get the bike, you get 2 batteries, you get insurance, you get training, you get maintenance, you get jobs. So for me, it's time for everyone to become a Wahoo rider or buy or subscribe to a Wahoo bike. And if you want to get in contact with us, you can go to our website and leave your contact there, and a member from my team will reach out to you. So it's wahoo.me, and that's how you would get in contact.
Fantastic. Now, Lobby says, by introducing electric bikes into Ghana's transportation ecosystem, we're not only providing a greener alternative, but also offering speed and convenience. Our bikes are a testament to how service delivery can be seamlessly merged with an environmental conservation project. Fantastic. Way to go, Ghana. Teresa, what are your thoughts? I mean, this is fantastic. I mean, you know, in one swoop, she's created a sustainable business, right, with these e-bikes that are specifically designed for their roads and their, again, as she said, their transportation ecosystem, but also is creating service delivery that's sustainable, right? So food and products and stuff like that, where people can have jobs within Accra for people who might have not had a job like that, right? So it's I mean, just really, really great idea. Really, really great idea. What are your thoughts?
I thought the same thing, that it's important that all the other elements get incorporated, right? Oh, not here. Oh, here's a great e-bike for you guys. Okay,
Right.
but then, you know, where's all the other components that, as you said, make it sustainable and make it long term? And
Right.
all those additional components have been thought and incorporated into it. And everybody there looked really excited, which I was like,
Yeah.
wow, everyone was
Yeah,
like,
right. I
yeah.
noticed that too. I noticed that too in the video, that people were like ready to get on board. The again, it's a subscription model in terms of the e-bikes themselves, but if you're an employee, if you're a service delivery person, that just wraps into everything else that you're doing. So you're subscribing, but you're also making money because they find jobs for you in terms of delivering products and services and that kind of thing around in the community. you know.
Mhm.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, and I guess that I love the fact that that's the out of box thinking that I think a
Mhm.
lot of this 21st century entrepreneurship should look like, right?
Mhm.
Where you're just not rehashing old stuff, you're taking what has been there and you're innovating, right?
Mhm.
Um, and she's making Accra cleaner, safer, right? More prosperous and sustainable. You know,
Mhm.
I think they said everything, all the components on those bikes are recyclable, and they can, you know, as things kind of break down, it's modular, so you can just kind of put different parts together. So, I
Mhm.
mean, just a really, really good way to go. Way to go with how they're putting all this together. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
thought that
from
was
all
like a
aspects.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Good
Are they
plug
doing? I
for
mean,
the environment.
I know they're in Toronto. There's a lot of e-bikes, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Same
Toronto, and
here. Same.
they
Yeah.
changed.
Same.
Yeah, they changed
Hmm.
infrastructure, right? All the roads and whatnot to accommodate the bikes. That
Right.
was some years, and now we even in some spots in Toronto, we have stoplights for the bikes, which I'd never seen.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's the stoplights for the cars, and then the bikes have their own stoplights. And I'm like, oh wow, where it tells them when to go and when to stop too, because they have
Wow.
lanes, specific lanes for them down certain streets. And
Yeah. Here in
and we were
DC too.
finding, yeah, they don't follow the rules though, right? They
Well,
weren't
I know.
following the rules of the road.
I know. That's the
Yeah,
part that
right?
they just kind of
And that's
blast through.
why, yes, and that's why they put the stoplights, because even they're not following the regular the rules of the road, and so then they had to do that in some spots. So to keep everyone safe, not just them, it's everyone safe.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
They just kind of blast through it. That's optional. That
Yeah.
street light is
That's
optional.
how it looks. Exactly.
Well, listen, everybody, this is just the first of many of our motivational stories for Motivational Monday today. We've got more coming up, so we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll have our next story, which I love because it's all about second chances. Hi there, this is Brian with Soulivity.com. I want to share some exciting news about our new Aspire Academy by Soulivity. Now, you probably want to know what the Aspire Academy by Soulivity is. Well, it exclusively connects you with people around the globe and who share the intense desire to improve themselves and create a better life for themselves today. There's classes, there's workshops, there's live events, and even more exclusively just for you. You see, I wanted you to have a safe space where you could grow, you can learn, and it would empower you in all aspects of your life, including your mind, your body, and your soul. So, how do you get started? Well, it is so easy. First of all, the best part, joining Aspire Academy is absolutely free. Just click on the Join Now button, sign up, and begin your journey. As a special part of this invitation to you, there are some free courses that are available for you to try from our amazing roster of coaches and collaborators. It's our way of saying thank you for all of your support and being with us along our journey of expansion. I hope you enjoyed the Aspire Academy by Soulivity today. Start the process. Learn more about your passion, your purpose, and how to live a higher quality life. Well, hello, Washington, D.C. It's another beautiful day here. A little overcast, but we'll take it. We'll take it. It's been warmer here over the last couple of weeks and couldn't love it better. Listen, welcome back to Soulivity Today. It's another Motivational Monday show where we are bringing you news and information from around the world that will help get you inspired and motivated to start your work week. Back with us again is happiness life coach and host of Steps to Happiness, Teresa Greco. Teresa, you like second chances, right?
Always.
Of course. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't like
Right?
second chances? Right.
Yes.
As I was thinking about this next story, I was thinking about one of my favorite authors and writers is Oscar Wilde, of course. He has a great saying of every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. My mother taught me about this a long time ago, and she said it means that everyone who has made a mistake deserves a second chance to make their lives better, right? Well, our next story comes from the great state of California, where one man's grasp of a second chance had a huge impact on himself, his life, and his future. Let's learn more.
When Bradley Arrowwood first came to train my dog, it sent me on a very unexpected journey.
When you killed your victim, you were how old?
23.
He was, by his own admission, a hardcore Los Angeles biker who killed a man he said had had an affair with his wife.
You lured him to a house, you beat him, you duct taped him, and he suffocated because of that.
That and a broken nose, yes.
And I was honest with you, and I said, had I known the facts before you came here, I wouldn't have had you
He
here.
wouldn't have called.
And I thought, well, here's my opportunity to actually live the walk. I talk the second chance talk, but can I walk it?
There are so many people that come back out or could come back out that educate themselves, and they don't get the same breaks I got.
The breaks he got led to a successful service dog training business, thanks to his own decision to change.
I, Jerry Brown.
And someone else changed too. Jerry Brown commuted Arrowwood's life sentence in 2017.
But he earned it. He was certainly, the record was very impressive.
Jerry Brown, now retired and living on his Northern California ranch, knows about second chances.
And let me just add up to you.
But when he was elected as the nation's youngest governor in 1974, he was very tough on crime.
He passed the first mandatory sentencing law in the state that then led to a lot more of those laws being passed.
President of the Alliance for Safety and Justice, Lenore Anderson, advocates for criminal justice reform.
Many people are really not aware of the history of the movement for tough on crime. It originated here in California.
The result of that was from 12 prisons that existed when Reagan was governor, we went, after I left, to 33 prisons. So we went from about 25,000 people in prison to 170,000.
That legacy Jerry Brown left when his first term ended in 1983 directly affected Bradley Arrowwood when he was sentenced 10 years later to life in prison with no possibility of parole.
I had a death sentence, basically, death by incarceration.
The crime was almost 30 years ago, and talking about it like we are now makes you feel how?
Lost still.
Lost why?
I lived a lifestyle feeding off fear, hatred.
And what has changed?
What really hit home was 7 years into my sentence, finding out I had a daughter that was placed in the foster care system. She was told that I don't love her, don't want her, and hurt people for a living. She's 7. I never even knew about her.
How did you find your purpose in prison?
Trying to do better for my daughter. I wanted her to not be ashamed at who I was. I had to be an example, even though there was no chance of me getting out. I wasn't able to tell her that I wasn't getting out, ever, because I didn't want to destroy any hope that she had.
But why? You were never going to get out.
Because I didn't want her to be able to say that her dad was a failure.
Then, in 2010, Jerry Brown was elected California's governor again. By then, he wanted to undo the heavy sentencing laws he had championed as a young governor. By then, he had served 25 years in prison.
When I say the name Jerry Brown,
It's a miracle.
ever met him?
No, I haven't.
Want to?
I would love to.
So we invited him to travel with us
Good to meet you, Woody. Come on by.
to meet the man who had the biggest impact on giving him a second chance.
So, Woody, how are you feeling?
Kind of amazed. I had a million things written in my mind, but I don't even know how to say how much thanks and gratefulness for you taking a chance.
Had you applied before?
No,
So you just...
there was never any hope.
Tell the governor what you've done with your life since you got out.
When I first got out, I went to a transition home to adjust after 25 years. From there, I attended Cal State LA as a full-time student and graduated with a bachelor's degree in organizational and applied communications. I got married to a girl I've known since 8 years old. Started my dog training business.
You got any ideas on what we ought to be doing with our prisons?
Well, I think we need to kind of go back a step to where it used to be, that people get a chance to earn their way out.
He's so happy to see you.
The risks that he has taken has led him to be the father he never was, to the daughter he hardly knew. She is now 29 years old with a son. They are a whole family, living a second chance.
Everybody hopes somewhere in the back of their mind that they can be good, that we're not all bad. That little bit of investment in somebody gives a person a lot of incentive to go a long way.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that
Oh my-
cool?
So good, Brian. Even it got me too tear
Oh.
jerking here. Oh my god. It's so good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What I've read about this is that, and again, this, when we're talking about pardons and commutations and that kind of thing, it always comes with some level of controversy, and some people were saying that Jerry Brown wasn't being respectful of like public safety and that kind of thing. And at the same time, a lot of these prisoners that were released based upon what they were doing while they were in prison, a lot of them have transitioned into successful lives, just like this individual. He is doing. I mean, he's thriving. He's thriving right now, and it's because someone gave him a second chance. And so the next thing is, now, are we really, when we're putting people away, are we really finding resources and putting forth energy to actually help them reform, right? Or are we just locking people up and that kind of thing? And here's a great example for maybe we should be doing more around helping people reform, and that kind of thing, and not just throwing. I never like to think that people are throwaway, and so just to see that end story where here's this man with his daughter and his grandbaby, and that he's living a good life now, not taking anything away from the person that was murdered, the family that was affected, but everything that he's doing now is to give back, right? And to be of service. And I think that changed his life. It really did.
Yeah, really, really good. And now, for me, the point that I really loved, which is something that he said right at the end, was that he said, there is something inside of all of us, that little place of goodness, right?
Yeah.
That life happens and pulls us away. So I always say that we are love, peace, and happiness at our core, and that it's like life gets its little claws into us and pulls us away from that. And that
Right.
when when he said that, I was like, it is at our core. We are love, peace, and happiness, even though the circumstances of our lives may pull us away from that.
Right.
And to mark someone as like not being able to be any of those things, like
Yeah.
when at our core we are that, right? But they're labeled that they're bad, that they're evil, that what all the other
Yeah.
things. But the truth is, the truth is we are that, and it's beautiful that he was able to come back to that truth.
Absolutely. With a little help, right? With a little help, which we all need from time to time, right? Listen, we've got even more of these great stories coming up, so grab your tissues and all that kind of stuff if you need it. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. This next one you're going to really like, Teresa. Because I mean, I loved libraries growing up. I loved being in them there. I thought that they were so cool, and to see what's been going on here in the United States around some of the things that have been happening in terms of there being attacks on libraries is a shame. So we're going to talk about that in our next story, but we got to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Do you see me kneeling on this dual roller called Parasetter? It's actually comfortable because of this channel and the softness of the special foam. It feels like my kneecaps are being massaged. When I lie down, my spine is housed in this channel, while the convex rollers massage my muscles. They let go and lengthen. There's a traction effect from my head on the headrest and my mid-back from the rib wrap, which hugs me. When I start the breathing sequence, I feel calm because my cortisol levels are dropping. Lower cortisol means bye-bye constant hunger. Parasetter is 40 inches long and much more comfortable than old-style rollers, but it weighs only 10 ounces. Parasetter, just like Pilates was, is no longer an insider secret. Do yourself a favor. Reset your parasympathetic nervous system. Defeat stress. Lying, sitting, kneeling, or standing. This unique patented roller helps everyone.
Six years ago, when I started Soulivity, my vision was to support everyone in improving their life through the discovery of their passion and purpose, so they could become the best version of themselves, to battle fear and ignorance, and create a better world today. Get inspired to live your passion and purpose. Visit Soulivity.com now.
Well, hello there. We are back here on Soulivity Today for another Motivational Monday show where we're bringing you some news and some information that will help get you inspired and motivated for the rest of your work week. And Teresa, I've got a great story for you that's coming up next. Yeah, it's just going to make you smile. This is one of those ones that just make you smile. According to the Guardian newspaper, the U.S. library system was once a model for the world. It's now under assault from politicians and right-wing activists and corporate publishers. Book bans are at record levels, and libraries across the country are facing catastrophic budget cuts, a fate only narrowly avoided by, for instance, New York City's public libraries this summer. Now, in a separate line of attack, library collections are being squeezed by draconian licensing deals and even sued to stop lending digital books. Well, we've got a superhero in one librarian who's fighting back by making everyone's experience in his library a memorable one. Librarian Michael Threets has become a social media phenom by telling incredible stories about his patrons that are magical. Now, the 33-year-old supervising librarian at the Fairfield City Fairfield Civic Center Library in California says libraries were a place of refuge for him as he was a very shy child. Now let's watch him tell one of these wonderful stories. I can't wait for you guys to hear this.
I'm standing behind the library desk, and this kid comes up to me and says, I have a question, but I'm shy. And as a former shy library kid myself, what I heard this kid say was, I am feeling particularly courageous. I'm going to use my powerful voice that I use in calculated moments to ask you a question that I need an answer to. And I found this to be so astonishing because it is likely that this kid's grown-up or grown-ups have encouraged them that whoever is standing behind the library desk, weird, silly librarian me, or my fellow library workers are going to treat them with kindness and respect and listen to them just as they are. If they're not used to using their voice, we're going to wait it out. We're going to figure things out together so that they are comfortable. And I love that for that library kid. I love that for those library grown-ups. I love that there is so much respect, so much appreciation for the library desk that someone who may not feel comfortable speaking will come up to the library worker and ask them a question. If you need help from your library workers, simply ask. We want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel safe asking. We want you to feel seen. We want you to be visible. I love that so much for me as a library worker, for them as a library kid. So they asked that question and I said, sure, take your time. No worries. We're going to figure this out. They wanted to know where a certain book was. So I gave them a library tour of the kids section, found it, and I hope they keep on coming back full of wonder and curiosity as a library kid. Yes.
Love it, love it, love it. Now, Michael Threet's following continues to grow and grow. As of today, he has over 600,000 followers on Instagram and almost 700,000 on TikTok. And what a wonderful, wonderful story this is, Teresa. I just beam from ear to ear with the smile. I can't stop but smile when I see that, happening. Can you imagine that kid just being engaged that way, where it's like, oh no, he's just, for him to ask me a question, I have to take that as something to be celebrated and rewarded with love and support and joy, man,
I think, I mean, we still have libraries in schools. So, once a week, the class will go down to the library and be able to get that feeling of what it's like to be. That's, I think, what makes the library unique, right? Being surrounded by all those books and they have different sections in the library too, like maybe where the computers are or where, there's an open space and, they can do other things. So there's always such cool things happening at the library.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the books. It's about the community there at the library, depending on, what your library has going on. But I think that the importance and the uniqueness of what that space is like is being lost to convenience, to say, well, it's okay, we can just read it on our phone. Oh, it's okay, we can just read it on the computer. It's not just about the book itself, it's about everything else. So we have another big bookstore by us too, which I love just to go to the bookstore and just go and walk around, have my Starbucks, and they have things that you can buy, and it's just it's an experience. It really is an experience. And then to have nice people like this guy there too.
Man.
Oh my goodness, right? It just drops it all off.
I mean, imagine at this library in California, the impact that he's having on that community, where kids, instead of maybe having their heads buried in a mobile device or a smart device, they're actually reading and learning about the world around them and assisting them in imagining all the possibilities that can exist in their life through reading, right? I mean, again, reading is fundamental, everyone. It starts with that. And so I just love that. I love that. So, keep on keeping on out there in California, Michael Threets. You know, this is how it's done, right? This is how it's done. Highly recommend everyone go follow him on social media, either Instagram or TikTok, because if you need a jolt of inspiration or happiness, just one of those videos is going to get you there. You know, it's why we do this show. It's why we do this show. Listen, we're going to take another quick break, but we've got our last story coming up, which is a heartwarming one about a random act of kindness. Find all of the Satana products at our Go shop at go.soulivity.com.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame, living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Soulivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us, a place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Well, hello, NYC, New York City. So good to see you clearing up. It was like foggy there for a while, but it looks like you're back, and this beautiful skyline. We are back here with more on Soulivity Today. It's another Motivational Monday show where we are bringing you news and information from around the world to help get you inspired and motivated to start your week. Teresa, you're going to love this last story. I mean, you love all of them, but you're really going to love this last story. This story comes from Fayetteville, North Carolina, where in the aftermath of a recent storm there, the Fayetteville Animal Protection Society discovered a touching surprise at their doorstep that both broke and uplifted their hearts. Let's watch.
Well, now to the litter of rescued puppies and the search for a man who found them. It's a story we told you about earlier this week.
Yeah, a Good Samaritan came to the rescue after Mom was hit by a car. The puppies were left at a Fayetteville shelter with a note from a man who says he's homeless, but he just had to help. His compassion has really captivated the community. Photojournalist Bob Gogren paid a visit to the shelter and has more.
Hello, friends. There are 5 puppies. We have 3 girls and 2 boys. When they first got here, they were kind of lethargic, but now after getting nutrition and a warm place to lay, they are really romping around. My name is Jackie Peary, and I'm the Executive Director of the Fayetteville Animal Protection Society. We've been here since 1982, and we are the only no-kill nonprofit animal shelter in the area. Right now, we have anywhere between 60 and 100 animals. Our staff came in first thing in the morning and noticed a kennel with these 5 beautiful little puppies. There was a note, and it stated that he was a homeless man who was feeding a stray mom and her puppies, and he found her dead on the side of the road. To think that he himself doesn't have a lot, but he was using whatever resources he had to feed this stray mom, and it was only out of his heart that he did the best thing for them. I can imagine him just out in the weather trying to find these puppies, especially when it was dark. And here's what the note had said. Please help. I found these puppies sadly after noticing a local stray dog that I would often feed when I could. dead by the road. I'm sorry for leaving them like this, but I myself am homeless and could not afford to care for them. My heart shatters for them and their mother. I just want them to be given the chance their mother, like myself, was never given. Please do not think poorly of me, but it felt wrong leaving them alone in the cold, waiting on a mother that would not be coming home. For him to do this, it just shows so much compassion. I wish we knew who this man is. They are still nameless, just like the man that found them. They are not yet old enough for adoption. We've had a lot of interest already. They received their first rounds of vaccines. They'll be microchipped and dewormed, and then they'll be all spayed and neutered and in their forever homes.
Aw. So the Fayetteville Animal Protection Society took some time and they wrote back to this individual on Facebook because they didn't know who he was, so they just posted. And their reply to him was, to this compassionate individual, wherever you are, we want you to know that your act of kindness has not gone unnoticed. Your empathy in the face of adversity gives us hope and inspiration. We promise to honor your selfless gesture by providing these puppies with the love and care they deserve. If you're up to it, please swing by the shelter to visit the puppies and to get a proper thank you. Oh, that's what it's all about, y'all.
So cute. Those puppies were so cute.
Oh my gosh, right? I mean,
So cute.
yeah. So I hope they all get adopted. I hope that this gentleman swings by and receives some love and support from the shelter and from the puppies too. You know, maybe you can grab a couple of them and kind of, because
I know.
I mean, yeah, I mean, he was already feeding the mother, and then the mother got hit and got killed, and it's like, oh my gosh. And so for him to do what he did was just a wonderful thing. And again, it's how do we change the world? We change the world through one random act of kindness a day. That's how we change the world. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's for our Motivation Monday, you know.
Nice work. Nice
show.
work.
Just, well, thank you. Thank you. You know, I mean, there's so much going on in the world, Teresa, you know, and, you know, we do these shows specifically, and I say this every week, but I just want to reiterate it. We do these shows to let everyone know that everything that's happening in the world isn't all about doom and gloom and people fighting and arguing and, you know, greed and murder and all these other things, that there's other things happening in the world that are positive and are a reflection of the truth about who we are and what we are as, you know, spiritual beings, specifically living a human experience. That's my philosophy around it, but that our human nature is more than just, you know, fight or flight and all that. That there's more to it than that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful reminder. That's what, that there are good things happening. And it's important that we know that because it gives us hope.
Right.
Without hope, we're nothing, right? Hope,
Right.
There's a whole bunch of science around the importance of hope. And hope is what keeps us going even when it feels like, even when we think it could lead to a dead end.
Right.
Still, we hold on to that hope, and we need to have hope in humanity,
Right.
and hope in the goodness, and hope in the return to the love, peace, and happiness that we are.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. It is a cornerstone of building your best life. But, you know, it keeps you optimistic. It helps you move through adversity, because it's like faith, right? I mean, you're having faith in yourself to move forward and into a better life. So listen, we're going to take another quick break, but we've got more of Soulivity Today coming up. And so just stick right there and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Would you like to be one of the first people to experience mental freedom? Mental freedom is a coaching practice with 6 core principles: improving hope, self-efficacy, optimism, resilience, and general well-being. Mental freedom only takes 6 sessions. It is designed to give you the tools you need to help yourself. It can help with any situation: relationship problems, past trauma, career decisions, parenting challenges, addiction, and mental health concerns. Incorporating the mental freedom framework into your life will deliver an approach to master any situation and a pathway toward achieving inner peace. Mental freedom provides the information and tools that you need to grow and be bigger than anything that ever happens to you. So if you're looking for one-on-one or a group coaching program that will allow you to address any situation that comes up in your life with practical tools to give you more peace and joy, then join the Mental Freedom Program in Soulivity's Aspire Academy. There are very limited spots available, so don't delay. I hope to see you there.
Hey, we are back with more on Soulivity Today. And Teresa, why don't we get to some shameless plugs? Shameless plugs. And we were just, and that the last commercial we were just talking about, and which is this wonderful program that you've been talking about for a while now. That's really, the program itself has been helping a lot of different people, which is this 6 weeks to mental freedom. Can you tell people a little bit about this?
Yes, so I look at happiness like a two-sided coin. One side is there could be blocks that are preventing you from feeling the happiness that's always inside you to feel, and to feel in abundance. And the other side is, how much time do you spend connecting to that place of happiness inside of you? So you need tools on both sides. The toolkit to deal with the blocks, and the tools that help you to connect to that place of happiness. So we need to know how to do that on both sides. And on the block side, we're not given the tools to deal with the stuff that comes up. Either it's stuff from the past that keeps looming, or stuff that comes up day to day. And it could be also stuff, from the future that's also maybe keeping you stuck and keeping you in fear and worry. And so this program in just 6 weeks gives you the tools you need to be able to come back to that place of peace inside of you, to give you the mental freedom that you're searching for. And so every week, basically, there's a new tool that's given to you. All the tenets of that tool is also delivered so that you fully understand it, and then you're able to apply it for that week. And then we come back, and the following week we talk about that, and then you're presented with a new tool. So leaving the program in just 6 weeks, you have everything you need, because it has been shown to be applicable in a variety of situations, in a variety of different, problems that we face, because there are practitioners around the world that work in different spaces with different people. And the program has been proven to be very successful. So it's not my program. It's a program that I adopted. The founder, and I think it's incredible. I think it really does equip us with the tools that we need to help ourselves. That's what's important. That I've had people say to me, I don't feel comfortable necessarily, talking about some of like the skeletons in my closet. And you don't. With this program, you don't. You are given the tools to be able to work through and process what's going on within you, to come, as I said, to that place of peace and freedom inside you.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And so everyone, if you want to learn more, or if you want to even sign up today, you can go to soulivity.com/Teresa Mental Freedom. That's all one word on our website. That's soulivity.com/Teresa Mental Freedom, all one word, on our platform. Also got some exciting news, Teresa, coming back to Soulivity TV on February the 5th It's Tammy's Table with our own Tammy Gaines, who's going to be talking and about a whole bunch of different things with her special guest. Be airing on Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. That's February 5th. The new season debuts. So you don't want to miss that. Also, you don't want to miss all of the great content that is happening at soulivity.com. It's more inspiration for your passion and purpose. Got some great new articles that are there. Do not miss going to our site and checking out the content there because it is absolutely amazing. Also, if you want to have more information and even more passion and purpose inspiration for yourself, go check us out and subscribe to our social media channels. Specifically, subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can find out every time that we go live, as well as sign up on any of your podcasting providers, where you can learn and watch all the Soulivity Today shows. Teresa, so good to see you on this show. I love doing these shows together with you on Mondays. It's just, again, it's the right way to start your week, right?
Yes, it is. It is the right way. Hanging out with us, Brian. Hanging out with happy people. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Don't forget, everyone, our show tomorrow is with relationship expert Melva Johnson. She'll be taking your live questions. Go to our Facebook group and post a question that you may have about relationships, and we'll try to get it answered tomorrow. So listen, on behalf of everybody here at soulivity.com, thank you for joining us today. This is how we do it every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern on our live channels, or you can listen or watch us on KMET 1490 AM radio at 8 a.m. Pacific time for all of you out on the West Coast. So until next time, on behalf of everybody, thanks again for joining us. Keep working on your passion and purpose. It's going to lead to a high quality life. Trust me, we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
This work is subject to copyright owned by Affinity Global LLC. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this is expressly prohibited unless Affinity Global LLC has explicitly granted its prior written consent.